Hello, chat. All rise for the Honorable Judge Starshard, presiding over Reddit Court today on July 19th, 2022. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the VOD. Welcome to whatever. If you're watching this in, I don't know, like 2027, and I'm like a huge streamer, you can look back on these old streams and everybody can laugh and we'll have a good time. So you guys ready for some Reddit Court tonight? I don't have my gavel. What do I have that's like gavel-esque? I guess DualShock Analog 3? DualShock 3? 6 axis? Not analog. That's for PlayStation 3, right? Okay, well, enough of that. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Tuesday? Nice, it's only Tuesday. Beautiful. So we continue. Hey, Urban Ventures here. Wigs on. Let's pass judgment. Well, we haven't got the wig on yet. Just give it a few minutes. Hey, Urban, you're up late. Uh-oh, what's going on? Something special going on tonight that I didn't hear about? You guys are having secret streams. Anyway, so yes, my week off continues. We're going to Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'm back at work after some number of days. So let's just switch over, huh? This is what I did for the wig. It's beautiful. And then I'm gonna do this because okay, let's take the camera down because the camera's my phone and that's how I'm gonna monitor chat now. You only get to see me for a little bit tonight. Sorry, guys. All right. I am live. Yes. Stream manager. Yes. Show me. Show me what I want to see. You're up late? It's too... Oh, that's right. I heard it's like super hot there. That sucks, man. And you guys don't have AC, right? My AC actually broke on Friday and I got a little taste of the no AC life and it sucked. So sorry to hear that, but maybe I can make you feel better during your late night hot stream, hot viewer, whatever. And we are going to take a look at some Am I the Asshole here on Reddit. And all right, let's start with the top post of this past month. which has been determined by the hive mind to be not the asshole, but I reserve the right to pass my own judgment. So the title says, am I the asshole for throwing them out of a house that we own? Son and future in-laws decide to exclude his family from wedding. Son and future okay. They thought son owned the house, not us. Okay, there's some weird grammar going on here, but maybe the post will clear it up, huh? Hot tub. It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit here at midnight. That sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, I guess it's the middle of the night. You're probably not used to it over there, especially if you don't have like central air. All right, here we go. My wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in Pennsylvania that my son lives in. Our son went to college in Pennsylvania and wanted to stay in the area, so we bought the house as a second home. We live in New Jersey and commute into Manhattan for work. Okay, so these are some rich people. Got it. We figured that he would have a place to live and we could visit every so often and spend some quality time together. Cool parents. We pay the taxes and services / maintenance on the house. Our son pays for his groceries and the house utilities. All was going well for a few years. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. We meet her and she seems nice enough. We met her. She seems nice enough. They announce their engagement and she moves into the house with our son. Now for the problem. The wedding! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. We hold a little get-to-know-you barbecue at the Pennsylvania house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiance and her parents and sisters. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and the fiance go into the house along with her mother and sisters and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out and are really upset. They come over and tell me we're leaving and driving back to New Jersey. I try to find out what happened. Once we get back to New Jersey and they calm down, they tell me that our son and his fiance, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding. According to what I was told, we're not their kind of people. Yikes. That's never a good thing. I was livid. I called my son and asked him what the hell this was about. He tells me that her family feel we're not good enough and will embarrass them at a family wedding and that we are all uninvited from the wedding. What? This isn't real. Come on. This is like a plot point in a movie. I let a week go by to calm myself down and drive back to the PA house. The new future in-laws are in the house along with the fiance. It appears they all moved into the house. They ask me why I'm there. I tell them since we aren't invited to the wedding, I was coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it and I couldn't find it until 30 days, no, and told them they had 30 days to get out. Tell my son I'm selling the house and he could find somewhere else to live with all of you. I go to a realtor in town and list the house for sale. They call my son at work and tell him what I said. Apparently they thought he owned the house. He calls me and asks why I'm selling his house. I tell him I paid for it along with the taxes on it and it is mine. He was living there rent-free and since he doesn't want us in his new life, he has to get out. I tell him the same as I told his future in-laws. They have 30 days to get out, then I'll get a lawyer and get them evicted. Am I the asshole for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but their in-laws seem to take over and we no longer count. Okay, so a little bit to unpack, but not a whole lot. It seems pretty straightforward. So I'm also getting some Pretty Woman vibes. Big mistake, huge. You're not our kind of people. All right, not the asshole, says the first comment. Oh, I guess I'll say not the asshole. No, your son's being a dick. He's trying to throw his weight around when really you own the house. It's your house. You let him live in it rent free. Super cool. And then he throws it away, which is not cool. So I'm gonna say not the asshole. And it seems that the hive mind has agreed with me. And let's see what the comments have to say. Somebody wants an update because it sounds nuts. What kind of people do they think you are? How was your son okay with excluding his whole family? Let's see. More drama than a reality TV show. Okay. Yeah, I want to know did your son say you're not good enough? You guys have differing political beliefs. Ooh. That's true. Okay, so that could be an option. I've been to Pennsylvania. It's like redneck central. I just can't fathom what we're not their kind of people could actually mean and how OP is not good enough for the people who moved into what they thought was OP's son's house. Not racism. It's either snobbery or a religious thing. Grifter in-laws. Okay, even if you I don't know if I can go for grifter in-laws, because if I was a grifter, I would just say, let's have a big wedding, everybody's invited, and then after that, you know, then we can start the cutting off. But you're getting a little ahead of yourself here if you're gonna start the grift. Okay, let's see. Not the asshole. They all moved into your house? That's so bizarre. Tell them you're their kind of people, aka squatters. I don't think we're gonna get an answer to what the thing said. Not the asshole. Your son must not be very smart. What did you think would happen if you let his in-laws try to kick you out of a house you own? Not the asshole. Excluding his family from the wedding for ridiculous reasons is a pretty big FU. Yeah, we're not gonna get any answers here, chat. I guess. All right, let's see. Anybody have any ideas? What could the not your kind of people comment mean? We got racism, we got different religion, like snobbery, political beliefs. Could be all four, honestly, in Pennsylvania / New Jersey. All right, well, that was a nice little appetizer. Let's see what we have for our second course. Am I the asshole for storming off from my sister's wedding after she dead named my son? Okay, that just sounds sad. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's friends I make twice what he does when they call me a gold digger and he didn't defend me? Okay, all right. Now I gotta see this one. All right, so we've read the title. I'm in a relationship with a guy who also works in tech. He makes 68K and I make 30K. I am a mechanical engineer at a robotics startup. Ooh, fun. He works at a more stable job doing programming at a large company. He brought me to meet his friends at a party and they asked me about myself. His friends mostly work in tech too and talked about themselves in terms of their jobs. I told them I'm a hiker, I do archery, I love road trips and camping and riding dirt bikes, basically talking about my hobbies because work is just a way to get paid and to do the shit I love. When somebody asks you what you do, they're asking what your job is. They're not asking what your hobbies are. So, OP, you're already off to a bad start, in my opinion. But okay, you want to try to, like, change the conversation. It's not how I define myself, and it doesn't come to mind when someone wants me to tell them about myself. One of his friends asked about work, and I said, oh gosh, I don't want to talk about work at a party. Spent my whole day sweating my ass off in 95-degree heat trying to replace this busted-ass motor just to find the replacement part was also fucked. What? Oh, okay. Okay, that's part of the sentence. I wasn't lying or trying to downplay that I have a good job. That really is how I spent my day. I think OP's a little oblivious here. And I wasn't in the mood to talk shop at a party. All right. Some other conversations came up casually that probably also made me seem poor, like me saying that car dealership repairs were a ripoff and telling my boyfriend that my childhood neighbor's trailer caught on fire and I was going to visit her and help her out. It's comical. Emmykin says, if the future in-laws moved into their house, I'm going to assume them being too poor for the in-laws is out. Yeah, you're probably right. So maybe snobbery is kind of off the table for that first one. All right, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was literally just talking about my life, but I guess I gave the impression I was poor. It got later in the night, everyone was getting drunker, and some of his friends, not close ones though, were making jokes about me growing up in a trailer and being a gold digger. And being ready to jump to a richer guy. Really misogynistic shit, honestly, since they don't even know me. You didn't tell them about you. You said you like hiking and that your friend lives in a trailer. That doesn't tell anybody anything about you. And they seem to just assume all girls are gold diggers. He didn't say anything. He later said it was because he'd smoked weed and gets quiet and has trouble carrying on a quick conversation when he's high. These people all suck. But regardless, I felt hurt he didn't say anything. I got irritated with his friends and asked, now why the hell would you say that when I make twice what he does? His friends went quiet for a second, and I continued saying, there ain't no gold to dig here. Not with him or anyone at this party. So do y'all think I'm cheap, or do y'all think I'm stupid? I think you're stupid. And probably also cheap, but that's besides the point. My boyfriend wanted to leave the party shortly after, and he was pretty upset with me for telling everyone I make twice what he does. I said I would have held my tongue if he'd checked his friends himself, but he didn't say anything, so I wasn't about to let them talk to me like that. He said it was humiliating, and now everyone thinks I'm a bitch, and I flippantly said at least they know I'm a rich bitch. He was angry, and I embarrassed him when I spoke up. I was angry I had to say anything at all, because his friends were talking shit, so I should be on him to check them. Stuff is still tense. Am I the asshole for explaining why I'm not a gold digger? Okay. Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna say you're the asshole. Like, you're at a party, you ignore the social cues instead of being like, oh yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer, I work at a robotics startup. It's, you know, whatever. I would love to talk about that. Maybe I'm just weird if I had a cool job like that. And then she insists on trying to skirt around the rules of conversation and etiquette by talking about her hobbies when they want to know her job. And then it just seems like a series of comical events that lead to them thinking she's poor. Everybody sucks here. But she's, yeah, not the asshole. So your boyfriend was too high to say anything to support you, but sober enough to complain when you rightly called him and his rude mates out. It's okay for her to be humiliated, but not him. Oh boy. Not the asshole. His friends sound like those dudes that whine when they can't get GFs. No GF chat? They think they deserve supermodels, but then they are complete misogynists. Not the asshole. Enjoy your awesome life, rich bitch. What the heck is this? Is this something you can make? Wait, do other people have these? What are these? No, just this guy has it. It's like a little... All right. Oh, create your own avatar. Oh, maybe I'll do that later. I don't use new Reddit very much, so I don't see these things. Not the asshole. Fuck toxic masculinity. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend chooses to hang out with people who are misogynistic and judgmental. He chooses to stay silent when they aim their vitriol at you. And then he chooses to direct his anger and shame at you for refusing to let yourself be treated like trash. Let's see. Okay, not the asshole. I'd like to know what area you live in where you, your BF, and a social circle all work in tech, and 68K is considered gold digger territory in 2022. Pittsburgh. Okay, there you go. That makes sense. Hey, we're back in PA again. All right, I'm not seeing any you're the asshole, like, anywhere. I probably all got downvoted. This is a 20-day-old post, so. I'm gonna say everybody sucks here, though. She doesn't suck for calling out her friends or his friends, but she sucks for just being the kind of person who ignores social cues. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my husband for messing with my alarm and causing me to miss my exam? Holy crap. This sounds amazing. All right, here we go. Hello. I, female 23, have been married to my husband, M26, for a year. I'm in my last year of university and have been so busy for the last 2 weeks, with many projects and finals looming. My husband complains from seeing me studying and not doing activities together. All right, this dude's fucking asshole. Or hanging out with friends anymore. I've told him it's not gonna last forever and I need to focus because this is my last year and it's been the hardest. The day before the exam, he wanted me to go with him to a friend's birthday party. I refused because I was busy preparing for my exam. He pleaded with me, saying it's just 1 hour, and talked about how his friends will be upset if I'm not there. I said no and shut down any further discussions. He got upset and called me selfish and inconsiderate, but then dropped it. What the hell? Before I went to bed, I set my alarm clock like I always do since I'm a heavy sleeper, plus I stayed up late studying. The next morning, I woke up at 9 a.m. I literally freaked out and checked my alarm and found that it was set to go off at 9:30 a.m. I had no idea how this happened till my husband told me he did this to repay me for refusing to take one hour to attend the party, so he took this hour from my time. Oh, can we like punch people through the internet? I couldn't believe it. I absolutely blew up at him, just yelling and screaming at him left and right. He just stood there, shocked from my reaction and my rage. I got dressed quickly and rushed to the university. They didn't let me into the exam hall. I got into a lot of hassle to get them to reschedule the exam, especially since I had no legit reason as to why I was late. I was late because me and my husband are getting a divorce. That's all you gotta say. I went home and my husband and I stopped speaking to each other. He kept acting as if I hurt his feelings and traumatized him by yelling, and that I deserve what he did since he was frustrated with my continual refusal to attend all events for the past 2 weeks. Oh God, this dude. Do we have like an asshole of the year award? Not the asshole. Holy shit, your husband wanted to actively ruin your future because of a fucking party you couldn't attend. What kind of husband would do shit like that? That's so fucking petty. I think he deserved a lot more than just being yelled at. I would have kicked him out immediately. Oh boy. Not the asshole. Honey. Okay, don't use honey in your Reddit post. I'll be straight with you. Your husband is abusive. He wants to control what you do and does not support your success. Yep. Please tell your place of study that you missed the exam because you're in an abusive relationship. Leave him as soon as it's safe and do not have a baby with this man. That's excellent advice. I know that's the Reddit advice. Everybody says break up with him, get a divorce, change your name, hit the gym, lawyer up, all that stuff. Just from like this short description, if my wife was in school, I would be bending over backwards to help her succeed. This guy's a huge asshole. Like, who cares? It's a stupid party. He did this out of spite, knowing it would cause you to be late to your exam. You are right. University doesn't last forever, and you'll be able to go out and do more fun things when it's over. Oh boy. He punished you because you didn't obey him. Exactly. He tried to sabotage your degree because you didn't obey him. Not the asshole, but I would be seriously reconsidering my relationship with a man who feels entitled to do this. Yeah, I'm so mad right now. Wow. Wait, hang on. Okay, that was a little heavy. Let's do this next one. This looks a little lighter. Am I the asshole for ruining my brother's marriage because his wife left me at the pool? This is so good. Throwaway. This whole situation is so bizarre that I still can't really process it. It still doesn't feel real, but I feel scared and guilty. I, 19F, had surgery a couple days ago to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth out, and because I have a really bad fear of dentists, they had to drug me pretty hard to do the removal. Not like laughing gas that wears off really fast, but actual IV medicine, so I was pretty much unconscious during the whole thing. They told me to have a responsible adult drive me to the appointment and back because the meds they give me would make it dangerous to drive. That is true. My mom was on a work trip and couldn't take me, so I asked my sister-in-law, Bree, 24, not her real name. You don't have to give a fake name, it's okay. If she could do it, as the whole thing would only take an hour or two. I even offered gas money because the dental office is about 45 minutes away. I would have asked my brother, but he works during the day while Bree is a stay-at-home mom to their 2-year-old daughter, who I think was at Bree's mom's house that day. Bree agreed to take me to my appointment and the surgery went fine. Bree waited in the lobby for me to be done. When I came out of anesthesia, I was very disoriented and nauseous, which I guess is normal. I had gauze shoved in my mouth to stop any bleeding, and Bree took me to her car after I was let go. I don't really remember much of the drive, but it felt like not enough time passed before Bree got out of the car and told me to come with her. I was really out of it and just followed her because the alternative was staying in the hot car. Long story short, we were at a pool? ? I was really confused, but once we were through the gate, Bree basically parked me at one of those little table benches, said she'd be back in a while. I was still trying not to puke and was really dizzy from the heat, 90+ degrees, and the drugs. So I asked her to take me home, but she wouldn't. I guess since it was her day off and she didn't have my nieces, she was meeting friends at the pool. What? This woman is a jerk, first of all. I was starting to feel really sick and on the verge of passing out or having a panic attack, so I called my brother. I don't think he could understand me between the meds and the stuff in my mouth because he hung up, and I guess called Bree because she came stomping back over, cussing and yelling at me, and took me back to the car. I passed out on the drive home, but when we arrived, my brother had left work and met us in the driveway. He was screaming at Bree, and she was crying. Good. I was still pretty disoriented, but my brother took me back home and stayed with me until the meds wore off. That's when he told me he's divorcing Bree because of what she did, plus some other things he didn't go into detail about. It's been a few days since then, and Bree's been blowing up my phone telling me what a bitch I am and how me tattling destroyed her family. Part of me feels bad because of my niece, and I wonder if I should have just dealt with it and waited for her to be done at the pool instead of calling my bro and causing problems. Am I the asshole? No. Like, you were on drugs? And okay, before we get to the comments, I do agree with that top comment though. She was on drugs, she was all woozy, and yeah. How old is this woman? 24? All right. When I was 24, I would not have done that to somebody. If somebody was like, hey, can you take me to the dentist and then take me home? I'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem. I mean, I'm not doing anything that day, which it sounds like is what happened. So rather than taking her sister-in-law home and then going to the pool, she's just like, yeah, we're just gonna go straight to the pool and you can just chill here in the hot sun while you're all woozy and fucked up on dental drugs, you know? It's ridiculous. Jeepers Creeper 74 says he's divorcing, or quoting OP, he's divorcing Bree because of what she did plus some other things. OP, you are not the reason they're getting a divorce, but if you find out the reason, please come back and update because inquiring minds want to know. There's an update. There's an update. What's the update say? I want to see it. Okay, this is really long. Let's get to the stuff. Okay, cheating. Oh, okay, so here's the meat of the update. A while back, my bro came home early from work and found my niece, who was 2 years old, alone in their house with the front door unlocked. He called Bree 3 or 4 times with no answer, and she came in the front door right before he was about to call the cops. Apparently, she went to the convenience store, like a 5-minute drive from their place, and left my niece by herself. Left a 2-year-old by herself. When my brother yelled at her, she said it was fine because nothing bad happened, and when he said the door was unlocked, she just said she must have forgot and that it wasn't a big deal. Her phone was silenced on the charger in their bedroom, which is why she didn't answer when he called. Bree called him dramatic and told him to stop telling her how to parent and that the niece was fine for 20 minutes while she shopped for dinner stuff. Wow. Yeah, that gives me like huge I don't want to have to be a parent energy, which is probably correct for this woman. Not the asshole. You didn't ruin their marriage. Oh, honey, don't use "oh, honey" in your Reddit posts. I hate that. Oof. That's like an instant downvote from me. But I'm not on my account, so we're not gonna downvote anybody. All right, am I the asshole? I went on vacation with my friends and her family, and they kicked me out. I got my own room and stayed. Wait, what? I went on vacation with my friend and her family, and they kicked me out. I got my own room and stayed. Okay. All right, okay, all right. I'm in college, and my roommate from last year, Meg, whose family is really rich, said she could bring a friend on vacation. It was kind of awkward. I was her third choice, but her family vetoed the first two because they didn't want her bringing a boy or this other female friend of hers they disliked. Her parents bought my plane ticket and booked the resort, which I was very grateful for, and I saved a lot of money up so I could make sure to buy my own food and activities when I'm there, and treat her family to a dinner as a thank you for the ticket. But when the trip started, it was just bad. It was her, me, her mother, her father, 2 of her father's friends, and her 3 brothers going. On the flight, they all got first class and got me an economy seat. I didn't say anything because why argue about a free ticket? The first night they went to a grocery, turns out they wanted to cook at the resort kitchen for the whole trip. Okay, that's fine. And by they wanted to cook, it actually turned out they wanted me and Meg to cook. I wasn't warned about this, but it turns out Meg's family is so traditional. They see cooking as a women's job, and her mom had just had hand surgery. So it was me and Meg cooking every meal for 6 men and her mom. And I can't cook well. I know a couple staple meals to feed myself, but since I rarely eat meat, I don't know how to cook it. I'm also okay at cooking for 1 or 2, but have no practice cooking for a group of 9. I screwed up, undercooked chicken, overcooked some steak. Her dad was angry with me. I got short with him and told him that if he knew how to do it better, he could pitch in instead of standing around criticizing. He got furious and he said he was on vacation. I said I was trying to have a vacation too, or did they invite me to be an unpaid domestic servant? Meg's parents and dad's friends got angry. I said that and started yelling at me. The argument escalated. I sarcastically called myself the help. His dad snapped at me and told me to get out of their suite and go home. Didn't say shit about how he expected me to do that. I left and called the airline with my ticket and asked them if they could do anything to prevent anyone else from modifying or canceling my ticket. They let me set a passcode and no changes could be made to the flight without it. Then I went to the resort desk to ask about rooms, saying I was stranded unexpectedly. They actually did have some affordable rooms available because of a weekday discount. So I got housing and still had money left over for touristy stuff. I went sightseeing and relaxed on the beach for 3 days until Meg's parents ran into me. They were taking a sunset walk and did a double take seeing me on the beach. They said they thought I was going home. I said I decided to stay. They were angry because they saw me staying and using the return flight as having deceived them into thinking I couldn't afford a vacation and using them for flights when I could actually afford things. Am I the asshole for staying on that vacation and using the flight home? Not the asshole. This is no way to treat the friend of your... Wait, okay, I go straight to the comments. I guess I need to pass judgment first. No, not the asshole. This is a weird... This is like a movie situation. Like a Judd Apatow comedy or something. I thought you went home. I decided to stay. And it's not like... So they said go home. They didn't say we're gonna make it so your ticket is you go home now. I guess they could have attempted to refund the ticket. I don't know how that works. But ultimately, she just was chilling on the vacation. So what, do they just expect to bring her along so she could cook for all of them? That's ridiculous. These people are jerks. Rich jerks. Not the asshole. That is literally insane. Who takes someone to another city, state, country, and then just abandons them? The more money you get, the lower your empathy goes. Oh, we got some comments removed. Not the asshole. Too bad Meg didn't leave with you and let Pops and Bro do the cooking. Poor Meg's family may have money, but they have no class. Good stuff. Just that's a weird post. Am I the asshole for leaving my in-laws' house with my daughter after she told me she was feeling uncomfortable? I'm not touching that one. Am I the asshole for not treating my wife like an equal parent by telling her she has no say in the way I bond with my son and also calling her homophobic? Oh, okay. All right. I thought he was going to say, when I was reading this post in my head, I thought it said when I, 37, got my then girlfriend 16 pregnant. I skipped over the 17 and I was just looking in the parentheses and I was like, whoa. But this is okay. This is fine. All right. Let's see this one. When I, 37, was 17 and got my girlfriend 16 pregnant with twin boys, her parents didn't want the babies to ruin her future. So they said I had to either take them or give them up for adoption because she was not raising them. I wanted to give them up, but my parents told me not to. Okay. For the first 7 years of my boys' lives, I didn't act like a father and was more like a big brother. They knew I was their father though, but we never bonded like father-sons. When I was ready to move out, I wanted to do it without them. How? But my dad let me know it was my responsibility, so I had to take them. He said, oh, these kind of parents suck, man. Like, hey, kid who is a teenager, you have to keep the kids that your girlfriend's having. But then, you know, they're your responsibility. So you have to keep them, but also you're forced to deal with them. All right. I didn't want it at first, but I'm glad it happened. That's like the parent cop-out. The cope. The parent copium. Oh, I'm just so glad that I had these kids at 17. It was totally worth it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. We started bonding as father-sons. I started loving them and their love for me increased. I remember the three of us would sit on the couch to watch movies. One would sit on my left and one on my right while I wrapped my arms around them. Okay, I don't want to hear about that. I met my current wife 5 years ago. My kids were 15. We married 3 years ago after we welcomed our daughter 4F. She saw me doing this with my kids when we watched movies and she never said anything. Oh, I see where this is going. Okay. My kids are no longer living with us because they left for college, but they come to see me every now and then. My boys are 20 now, but they still like to put their heads on my chest while I wrap my arms around them. They do it every time they visit and I'm watching TV. My son Liam visited me 2 weeks ago. He came out to me as gay and introduced me to his boyfriend. I don't care how my kids live their sexuality or who they love. I love them no matter what. Good dad. I just want them to be happy, and I don't feel any different, and it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable to hug him or kiss his forehead. But it seems my wife is a little uncomfortable. My son visited me again last Wednesday. I was watching Red. Red or Turning Red? Because Red is a very different movie. Then my son Liam arrived. He was tired and sat on my right. I put his head on my shoulder while I wrapped my arm around him. Then I kissed his forehead and said, "Good to have you back, buddy." We went to sleep, and the next day my wife told me it made her feel uncomfortable, me hugging and kissing my son, and asked me not to do it again while she doesn't mind me doing it with Lucas, my other son, who is straight. She doesn't want me doing it with Liam. I told her she has no business being in my relationship with my sons. I also called her homophobic. She accused me of not treating her like an equal parent to my sons. Thus I said, "That's okay because you are not." My brother says I should understand because this is a big change for her, a son coming out, but seriously think there is nothing to get used to. This isn't neither her nor my problem who my son loves. Am I in the wrong? That's not what you're supposed to say at the end of your post, but I'll allow it. Okay, not the asshole for being a cool dad. Saying that your kid's stepmom is not an equal parent. When did they get married? The kids were 15. Okay. Yeah, I think at that point, like, you're a little past the point where, like, somebody getting married to somebody, having a stepmom, is gonna change anything. So, yeah, I wouldn't have worded it like that. I think maybe he should have used less aggressive language, but she's being a jerk. Not the asshole. She's being homophobic, and the world needs more dads like you. Exactly. This is, let's see. Not the asshole. Your wife is sexualizing a gesture that is from parental love. At 15, your boots were fine being raised. Your boots. Assuming that's supposed to say your boys. And I love the first 3 paragraphs of this post. Your parents really did right by you. Well, okay. So that was semi-wholesome. Am I the asshole? Wait a minute. I just saw weaponizing my femininity before I read it out loud. Let me read this in my head first. Okay, am I the asshole for weaponizing my femininity by crying since the teacher wouldn't stop another student harassing me? No, I'm good. I don't want to read that one. Am I the asshole for calling my hot-tempered guy coworker emotional to embarrass him into calming down? No, I don't want to read that one. Am I the asshole for canceling the family trip after I found out that my wife canceled my son's ticket? Did we read this one? No, we didn't read that one, but I'm not going to read that one. Am I the asshole for interrupting my husband's live stream? Hold on, we got to read it. My 32-year-old husband, okay, she's 32, husband's 35, has a YouTube channel with over 14,000 followers. He's been doing live streaming a lot lately, even though I told him that we have responsibilities to take care of. Before our daughter, she's 7 months old, was born, he'd stream randomly and spend a lot of time with his followers, answering questions and engaging in conversations. He keeps saying that his followers are good for his mental health, and that engaging with them weekly makes him become better at socializing and communicating. Yes, I agree with that. All right, so far so good. He's been complaining about wanting to do a live stream for days. I told him we'd look at our schedule and see if we could get some time to make it happen. Apparently, this wasn't good enough. Yesterday, I had to go grocery shopping and asked him to keep an eye on our daughter while she was asleep. He said, okay. I was gone for 4 hours. Why were you grocery shopping for 4 hours? Were you going up and down every single frickin' aisle? Jeez. But kept calling him to see if everything was okay. He'd tell me she was all right and that she was sleeping. Okay, this woman sounds insane. She goes shopping for 4 hours and then keeps calling to see if her daughter's okay. I know this guy's gonna end up being a jerk at the end of it, but that's weird. Like, just take her with you. He'd tell me she was all right and that she was sleeping. I started getting this weird feeling something was wrong because she must have had been hungry or needed a diaper change. He argued that everything was fine. I immediately went home, and when I entered the house, I didn't find him. I shouted his name but got nothing. I went into the bedroom and saw my daughter was awake and her diaper wasn't changed, and worse was that her bottle was even touched. I was confused. I got out and noticed that his office door was closed. I figured he was doing a live streaming from the noise I heard. I was beyond seething. I barged into the office and saw him sitting. I blew up while he was trying to turn his mic off and telling me to stop, but I didn't stop. I berated him for leaving our daughter unattended and with no milk nor diaper change. He freaked out on me, saying I just ended his entire channel and destroyed his fan base for interrupting his live stream and embarrassing him and scandalizing him like that. I told him to not say a word, but he kept yelling, calling me out of control and unhinged. He was almost crying, so I had to leave the office. Wow, this is worse than I thought. This is hilarious. He kept fighting with me till I decided to go stay with my mom. He started blaming me for ignoring his needs after he already expressed them, and that he forgot to do what I asked him and I'd cost him so much. Now us telling to come back home because he misses his daughter. Modern families, yeah. Urban, is this a post about you? What's going on? Here's the thing. I don't know how Northern Lion does it, but he seems to be able to stream and he has some young kids. And I know Emmykins doesn't like him, but basically everybody else does. So I'm gonna say maybe follow his example a little bit. And make your wife do all the work. Not the asshole. Dude was straight up neglecting his human child for some Twitch viewers. If I ever caught my husband doing that, I'd be reevaluating the marriage. This is why I don't have kids chat. A child's well-being and safety should be his first priority, not worrying about his subscribers. And before anyone tries it, he could have waited till OP sat down with him and they mutually agreed upon a time when the baby'd be taken care of while he streamed for his mental health. Or he could even stream with the baby. No, don't do that. Unless he's doing a porn stream or something Star Wars related, there's no reason why baby couldn't have been present. But how's he gonna game with the boys with the baby? All right. That's great. I wonder what the YouTube channel is. Has more followers than I do, that's for sure. Or a nanny. Yeah, I feel like if that's not his full-time job, then he should, the money he's making from a 14,000 subscriber YouTube channel or whatever is probably enough to hire a babysitter for 4 hours. Am I the asshole for blowing up on my fiance in front of his family for getting my daughter's cat out of the house? Oh, I don't know if we can read this one. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. It looks like they got the cat back, but we're not gonna read that one because it'll make Emmykin sad. Emmykin says, excuse me, something Star Wars related is one of the two things that's okay to neglect your kid? No, it's one of the things that you can't have your kid involved with while you're streaming. Am I the asshole for ruining my sister-in-law's honeymoon by exposing her racism? Racist exposed. Throwaway account, although my sister-in-law will probably recognize the story anyway, so I don't know why I even bother. I don't think what I did was an asshole move at all, but maybe the timing was a bit off. But no, I don't think I'm an asshole, full stop. It's like a stream of consciousness sentence. My 27, okay, my is 27. I hate the way this is when they format the ages like this. Sister-in-law, who is 30, got married last weekend. My sister-in-law got married. To who? She's my long-term boyfriend's sister. So her long-term boyfriend's sister, that's not your sister-in-law, I guess? Well, the in-law part's kind of important. If you're not married, there's no law. It's just your boyfriend's sister got married. They're white and I'm Middle Eastern, and a dark one with raven black hair. Oh, cool. She was looking for a photographer that didn't bankrupt her, so I suggested a friend of mine who's new in business and charged less than half because these things cost over 5,000 euro these days. To take some pictures? Urban, do you know anything about this? Emmykins wants to know why. I don't know. I don't know what SW stands for besides Star Wars. It said, what was the exact context for that? You can have the baby on the stream unless they're doing something porn or SW related. I don't know what SW would be. Maybe somebody will come out of the woodwork and tell me. All right, so 5K euros. She was excited and I set a group chat with her and my photographer friend. We talked a little and later they met and they started messaging directly to each other. The wedding was amazing and everything went smoothly. I was one of the guests and she seemed happy. The next day they went off to their honeymoon. I don't know if it was by mistake, but instead of texting the photographer directly like she's done for the past 2 months, she texted him to our old iMessage chat. She thanked him but had a favor to ask him and wondered whether we could retouch some asymmetry in the flowers. Flowers archway? I don't know the right terms in English. But also if he could take me off some photos because I'm too dark and ruined the color palette. Not all pictures, just the one she's in. I texted back, "Are you kidding me?" She didn't answer. I took a screenshot and posted it on my Insta story, tagging her in it. She called my boyfriend, crying her eyes out, calling me and for embarrassing her and ruining her honeymoon. Boyfriend thought it was a low blow. I was blinded with rage when I did it, but even now I'm calm. I still don't feel that I was an asshole. No, you're not an asshole. What are you, this is like Stalin now? You're gonna cut people out of your wedding photos? Are you kidding? Okay, Urban, who is an expert in film and photography, it is expensive if it's a fair rate. What if I just started taking pictures and I'm like, I'll charge you 20 bucks for it? Like, I'll do your whole wedding for 20 bucks. Would I bring the price down or would I just suck at it and people would not want me to do it? All right. Okay, edit for a little update. Let's check it out. Sister-in-law still on her honeymoon. My sister-in-law is self-employed with foreign customers. My photographer friend did what he was told. That's the only right way, in my opinion. Being professional, not confuse work with his own values. Okay, now to my boyfriend. As I said, he thought this whole thing was uncomfortable. I told him if he wanted to be with me, he needed to discuss uncomfortable topics. He opened up, and it was actually deeper than this. Okay. So there's like a bunch of stuff. There's like a whole conversation. Blah, blah, blah. This thread is now locked due to an excess of rule violations. It is always, always, always appropriate to embarrass a racist. Always. I agree. Not the asshole. Racists deserve to be called out publicly whenever possible. Also, what the... Again, no matter who you're taking out of the picture... You invited them to your wedding. I don't know why you now want them to like be taken out of the pictures for the wedding. Emmykin says you probably wouldn't want to do wedding photos for 20 bucks. I mean, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. If someone's going to pay me 20 bucks to take pictures of their wedding, I'll do it. Maybe 20 bucks an hour. But that's way less than 5 grand. Am I the asshole for refusing my future sister-in-law's request to dye my hair? What is with this sister-in-law's? The Bridezillas here. My future sister-in-law, Bridezilla, has turned into a... Oh, she says it. Liz has turned into a Bridezilla and is going to war with everyone over every stupid thing. My natural hair color is red. I love my hair. Liz is blonde, but she loves to have red hair. And in fact, ever since meeting me, she's been dyeing her hair almost exactly my color. Yeah, I'll bet. I don't mind. I think it's weird that she does it, but I don't want to have a monopoly over this particular shade of red, and she's free to do with her hair whatever she wants. Doesn't sound like you're okay with it. Urban says I'd charge at least $300 a day, and they usually feed you. That doesn't sound too bad. What, a day? How long are weddings where you live? I'm sure I've told you guys my terrible wedding story, right? When I flew out to Pennsylvania for my army friend's wedding, and it sucked. Yeah, maybe I would charge more for wedding photos now that I think about it. if I have to be at a wedding. All right, she asked me this week that I should dye my hair to a different color because she wants her hair to be unique in her wedding. She offered to cover all the cost as well. I just said no because it's my hair and I don't want it changed. I told my brother and he told me to do whatever I want because it's my hair. He said he'll talk to Liz to get her to back off. Well, it didn't work because Liz has come to my parents and they've taken her side. They say it's her special day and we need to be more accommodating, and it's important for our future relationship that we get along. I believe I am accommodating. She can do whatever she wants with her own hair. How is my hair any of her business anyway? My parents tell me I should be the bigger person. I don't know why an 18-year-old should be the bigger person compared to 27-year-old Liz. They told me I'm making this minor issue into a big problem and I should just do what she wants because it's her wedding. I would just not go if somebody's that hostile. Okay. Not the asshole. She wants to have original hair for her wedding. Maybe she should use her natural hair, not yours. She doesn't want to have original hair. She wants to have the red hair. The fact that she wants someone else to dye their natural hair so she can have her fake hair is, I don't know. That's serious Bridezilla. Urban says 1 day for wedding, at least one for... Oh, I guess true. Wait, you're going to edit the photos too? I would just send them the raw copies. Be like, here's the pictures I took for your wedding. That'll be $20. Good luck. But yeah, I guess if you're doing the whole shebang, charge them a lot more. Am I the asshole for refusing to cook dinner for my stepmother and her guest after she's been refusing to let me eat the food she cooks? That's weird. Am I the asshole for getting back the money my husband took from our IVF treatment and gave to his friend? Okay. All right. Yeah, but the answer is probably no. Am I the asshole for going into the ladies' room? Okay. Am I the asshole for not waking my partner up and causing him to miss a family trip? I feel like I've seen this one already, but this is an update. Am I the asshole for telling my sister I will no longer give her my breast milk? Oh boy, I'm not gonna read that one with the 10-foot reading pole. Urban says if I did that, I'd lose an extra day of pay. Yeah, but also I wouldn't have to do any work, so I just take the $20. Am I the asshole for singing a song to my wife at our wedding and making her angry? Oh, this sounds incredible. I just got married last week. My wife and I are both in our 30s. I am Mexican, she's American, but we both grew up in the US and both our families know both languages. My wife planned every bit of the wedding and was very controlling. A very controlling and nervous bride, but all right. I get that she was Bridezilla. During the reception, I went to the band and asked them to play a song for me to sing to my new wife. It was Te Amare by Miguel Bose. Sorry, Spanish viewers. It was the song from our first date in a really bad Mexican restaurant, so it became a long-standing joke between us. The guests really loved the song. My mother-in-law cried and told me it was beautiful, but my bride seemed upset. I asked her what's wrong, and she said I'm an asshole for taking the spotlight to enforce my ethnicity and not just let the band sing our song for us. Aita? Oh, jeez. Okay. So obviously, when you're on Am I the Asshole, you're getting the worst of the worst, or at least the worst that people are willing to post about on Reddit. Which explains why there's so many Bridezilla stories. I don't think most women are gonna turn into a Bridezilla at their wedding. I think there's some high profile cases. There's people make a lot of noise. No one's gonna make a noise about their awesome wedding that went really well. There's always, you're gonna hear about the things that went wrong. But then again, seems like we hear an awful lot of stories about Bridezillas, and maybe we're not hearing a lot of them too. There could be even more than we suspect. Not the asshole. You sung a song that is significant to the two of you at your own wedding. This incident on its own is a bit of a red flag that she reduced it to your ethnicity. Seems like a pretty racist reaction, says Snazzy Vow. So let's, that was a short one. Let's check for another one. Am I the asshole for holding my son's college fund hostage? $400,000? Okay. I, 48 male, have a son that graduates this year from high school. You had a kid when you were 30? I guess that's commendable. We, my wife and I, started his college fund the minute we found out she was pregnant. Since we make good money, his college fund currently has almost $400,000 in it. We've never told our son what to do with his life. We may have guided his decisions as any good parent should, but since he was still young, we let him make his own decisions. We also never expected academic excellence or forced him into sports or artistic activities. Well, there's the problem right there. You gotta beat your kids into submission, right? Emikin says, if I did the second day, I could have $40. Yeah, but also I wouldn't have time to play it because I spent the whole day taking somebody out of their wedding photos because they're a racist. And that's not worth $20. Taking the pictures is easy. You just push the button. Editing them, I mean, you guys have seen me do art before. It's not that easy. All right. So now that he's graduated high school, he said that he did not want to go to college. We said as long as he was sure he could do whatever he wanted. He refused trade schools too. He also did not want to work with us in our business. He said he planned to use his college fund to start a business of his own. I said I will allow it only if he takes some business management, accounting, and law classes in the nearby community college. That's totally reasonable. I said I would pay them out of pocket and not from the fund. And then I would expect a well-made business plan before I would give him the money. My wife agrees 100%. Me too. He called us assholes for holding his college fund hostage to make him do what we want. We think we are just doing our best to make sure his business succeeds. Okay. So what do we got here? I'll probably get downvoted. This is the most upvoted post chat, but not the asshole. You're not holding it hostage. You're trying to help him get and stay on a good track in life. You even offered to pay for the classes out of pocket and not from the college fund. I wish these were my parents. This would have been amazing. They have tons of money. They let me do what I want. They offer to give me business classes. That's, yeah. Nah, I'm just mad. My life sucks. Okay. Am I the asshole for forcing my husband to pay for my daughter's piano after he damaged it? No, that seems pretty clear cut. We'll let Judge Judy handle that one. Am I the asshole for taking the cake I baked for my fiance's birthday and going home? I'm taking my cake and I'm going home. Me, 25, and fiance, 31. Ooh, I don't like that age split. That's, how long you guys been dating? I try to, okay, her fiance's mom don't have the best relationship. So classic mother-in-law bad story. I try my best to be polite around her, but she's the type that'd have high standards, expectations of whoever dates her son. She has 3. She's commented on my hair and body several times and at some point suggested cosmetic surgeries for the future. This upsets me, but Ben tells me this is who she is and I need to learn to have a thick skin, since oftentimes she doesn't really mean to be malicious. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's a jerk. Anyway, I'm known for baking cakes and sweets. Ben eats what I make, but whenever I bring something to his family to try, they find every excuse in the world not to eat it. I'm okay with that and stop doing it. For Ben's 31st birthday, happy birthday, Ben, his mom wanted to host the party. I decided to bake him his birthday cake, and he was thrilled with it. I went grocery shopping, took time off work, and put so much effort into making it how he likes it. I took it with me to his mom's house, and to my surprise, when I walked in, I saw a large birthday cake sitting at the dining table. Oh, sorry, the dinning table. These rich people have a dinning table. I was puzzled. Future mother-in-law, that's what FMIL stands for, said she requested this cake from the bakery and paid X money for it. I asked, what about the cake I've made? She responded, oh, you can place it on the counter over there, and we'll let the kids have it. This felt like ice was dropped all over me. I looked at Ben and he nodded at me in a just do it way. Oh, Ben. Bad. That's like a party foul, man. I was so mad and the cake was still in my hands at the time. I turned around and made my way to the door. His mom remained standing, but Ben followed me asking where I was going. I told him he didn't need my cake, and by extension me, since my efforts were so easily dismissed and disrespected. He said I was overreacting. I'm gonna overreact right now in his face, and that his mom paid so much for the cake and it was only fair that he accept it. He begged me to get back inside and do him this favor by basically just go with the flow, and I decided to go home. He got mad and started saying I was being unreasonable and stirring drama over nothing. Yeah, they dining table rich, Urban. That's right. My buddy's got a dining table. He's super rich. He's got like 6 cars. He's got a big house up on the hill. I went home and he didn't get back till 11. He was so upset. He said he and his family didn't appreciate the childish behavior I displayed and ruining his party and disrespecting his mom like that. That I turned this into a huge deal and should have acted more maturely instead of walking out with the cake. Am I the asshole taking my cake and going home? All right, predictions from chat. We're gonna have, oh honey, you have to break off the engagement. Not the asshole. You're something, 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 blah, blah, blah. Not the asshole. Please don't marry this man. Run far, far away and bake your cakes for someone who chooses you, not their mom. You deserve it. Yeah. Yep. That's pretty clear-cut case. Am I the asshole for wanting to take my daughter fishing? What? Probably not. Oh, there's always been a no wives, no girlfriends rule. Okay, I see. So for over a decade, myself and my 4 best friends have had our annual fishing trip. There's always been a no wives, no girlfriends rule. Good, I like that rule. Since the beginning, and no one has ever violated it. 2 years ago, my friend Tim told the group he wanted to bring his 5-year-old son to sort of pass on the tradition on to the next generation. At that point, only Tim and I had kids, but my daughter was 3 and too young for fishing. We all supported Tim's idea and made a big deal over the little guy. He had a great time and came last year as well. And my other friend, Randy, has a 4-month-old son now. When the baby was born, Tim gave Randy a children's fishing pole to give to his son on his 5th birthday. So it seemed clear to me that the tradition had evolved to us plus our kids, which I'm cool with. I mentioned to my friends the other day that my daughter was excited for this year's fishing trip, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Hold on. Audio stopped. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Tim said I shouldn't bring her, and I was baffled. I was super supportive of him bringing his son. This is no different. My daughter's now the age Tim's son was when he first came on the trip. Another friend brought up the no wives, no girlfriends rule, which pissed me off. My 5-year-old daughter isn't anyone's wife or girlfriend. I said if they don't want my daughter there, then I don't want Tim's son there. Tim was offended and stormed out. Randy said what I said was uncalled for. I said I'm bringing my daughter, and that's that. Okay, well, it looks like the update is happy. The daughter's coming on the trip. Okay, a happy ending. We don't have to read the comments. Am I the asshole for taking 2 of my nephews on vacation with me, but not the other? Ooh. Okay, let's just read the starting paragraph. I'm 36, child-free. I have 2 sisters, Lisa and Annie. Lisa has 2 boys, 9 and 7. Annie has 8 and then 1. They both struggle financially a little, and I have a good job, so this year I offered to take my nephews to vacation with me this year. I told my sisters to bring the boys to my apartment for a weekend so I can see if they'll get along and if I'm up for taking them to the seaside with me for 14 days. A Fortnite, chat? They're gonna play Fortnite? The boys came, and at first we had a great time. I ordered us pizza, we watched a movie, played soccer, etc. Next morning, I woke them up and gave them cereal. The 8-year-old throws the cereal on the floor and says, I have waffles on the weekend. You can't see me, but I've got my hand out like I'm ready to slap somebody. I told him he can't have waffles for breakfast today, but we can make them for dinner or breakfast next day. He said he doesn't like cereal. I told him he can then have some toast with peanut butter or some fruit. He yelled at me for not making him waffles. That day, he also cut up my shirt because I didn't let him have cookies for lunch and told me I suck for telling him to eat his veggies before I gave them ice cream. He was a nightmare. 7-year-old and 9-year-old behaved great. When my sisters came to pick them up, I told Annie what happened. She said, oh, he's just high-spirited. I'm not taking a high-spirited kid with me on vacation. I told her I'm not taking him for vacation. I also told Lisa I'd be glad to take her boys with me, and they were super, super excited. My parents and some aunts have been biting my head off for treating the kids differently and denying a boy to go to the seaside just because he misbehaved once. Aita? Not the asshole. Well, I'm gonna say, okay, not the asshole. First of all, uncle of the year for offering to take these kids on a vacation, and also for not putting up with the shit that this 8-year-old one is putting out. So super cool. Have fun on vacation, not the asshole. What do the comments have to say? Not the asshole. Your 8-year-old nephew has serious issues which his mother is ignoring. Cutting up a shirt because he couldn't have cookies. That is not high-spirited behavior. It's like, I don't know. It says, someone says serious danger sign. I don't know. It's like, it's gonna be a serial killer. Yeah, you shouldn't have to deal with a spoiled kid if you don't want to. Especially if he isn't yours. Rewarding the other 2 nephews for being good and taking them as lovely and super nice of you. Like, I have a nephew, and I would maybe like hang out with my nephew. I don't know. I haven't really got to spend much time with him because, you know, I live far away from the rest of my family. In fact, all of my family all live far away from all the rest of my family. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to see each other. Aita for refusing to let my boyfriend have my bank account info to make a purchase. No. You guys, he wants your bank account info? Get married. Aita for telling my sister I am never babysitting for her again. Not the asshole, but I want to read the story. I'm 37, am single, child free, and have 2 dogs. They are very well behaved. Hang on, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, they're good dogs, right? They've never bitten anyone. They've never hurt anyone at all. They wouldn't hurt a fly. Yeah, we'll see about that. I have 4 sisters and they have 10 kids total, so I babysit a lot. I work from home and I'm pretty much always available to watch the older ones since I can easily work while they're in my apartment. And when they need care for the little ones, I just move my schedule around a bit. Yesterday, 4 of my nibblings were at my place. I hate that word so much. Ages 3, 5, 7, and 8. 7 and 8 are siblings. I have just one super strict rule at my house. No chocolate. It's deadly for dogs. I don't like it anyway, and kids can easily go an afternoon without it. The 7 and 8-year-old obviously brought chocolate with them and shared with 3 and 5-year-old. I was in the kitchen making them drinks. They were in the living room. My dogs were sleeping on the balcony. I came into the living room and there were obviously chocolate crumbs everywhere. Maybe chocolate crumbs. Chocolate melts. I asked who had the chocolate, and 7 and 8-year-old admitted that mom gave it to them and they always have some with them, but usually eat it in secret. What the heck kind of... You have secret chocolate? When my sister came to pick them up a few hours later, I told her what happened and she said that her kids are big enough not to make a chocolate mess. I told her I'm never babysitting for her again. She's furious and says I overreacted. Another sister of mine agrees with her. No more babysitting. My mother thinks I am wrong for putting my dogs before the children. Aita? Nope, you should never babysit anyone ever again. That's crazy. One rule and they gotta have their secret chocolate. Jeez. Am I the ass? Oh, wait, hang on. Yes, asshole. Yes. Am I the asshole for calling my sister out for breastfeeding at my wedding? My sister, 34, gave birth 2 months ago. She brought the baby to mine and my wife's 23F wedding. Brought a 2-month-old to a wedding? Oh. She breastfeeds whenever she goes. We visit her house, she'll breastfeed in front of us. Visiting her parents, she'll breastfeed. Going out in public setting, she'll sit on the bench and breastfeed. Whatever. Yeah, we get it. During the reception dinner, she just did it again. I approached her and asked her why she didn't bring formula or at least pump milk out and put it in the bottle so she wouldn't have to do all this at that moment. She said, because I don't have to. I feel comfortable breastfeeding. Getting milk out on my own is more painful. I said she could just make this. Oh, they both suck, kind of. I wouldn't take a 2-month-old to a wedding. Urban says, how dare she feed her child all the time? Yeah, she's just constantly feeding this kid. It doesn't matter where we are. But I wouldn't take a 2-month-old to a wedding, first of all. But I also wouldn't, like, if I had not specified that this was a child-free wedding and I was having a wedding and somebody breastfed at the reception, I wouldn't, like, cause a scene about it. All right, let's drink some water here. Getting a little dry. Oh, this is a dude too. Okay, that makes it even worse. I told my wife what the deal was, and she said I'm an asshole and should immediately apologize to my sister. My parents also sided with my sister, and now pretty much everyone thinks I'm an asshole since I'm the only person who had a problem with it. The only reason I decided to call her out is because I consider it a bad etiquette and tacky to do that at a formal event, and she could just find another solution for that night. This thread is now locked due to an excess of rule violations. Be civil. You're the asshole. Your sister deserves a hug and a thank you for making the effort to attend a wedding with a 2-month-old. I can't be the only one who's dying at his, but she breastfeeds everywhere and all the time. Yeah. Yeah, it's tacky to feed your kid at my wedding. What is it with guys who marry women much younger than them? They all seem to be immature and controlling in the same way. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I'm usually right on top of these age differences. 34? Wait, no, hang on. Yes, okay. 34 is the guy. Wife, 23. Chat. That's too much. That's really pushing the half your age plus 7. And especially at that low of an age. I don't know. And how long have they been married, I wonder? I was focused on the breastfeeding. I missed the creepiness of the age difference. Yeah, me too. It's not so much the age difference in itself is creepy. It's just that in Am I the Asshole stories, there seems to be a specific icky behavior or pattern that goes with an older husband and a younger wife. Yep. So that's our first asshole of the night. Might be our last one too, because typically the asshole ones don't get highly upvoted. But after we get through a couple more of these, we'll head over to the secret Am I the Asshole filtered subreddit. Am I the asshole for using my husband's car to get to work after he tricked me into going to his family's barbecue party? No, you're not the asshole for that. Come on. Am I the asshole for ignoring my boss and blocking his number on my vacation? No. You're on vacation. I'm on vacation right now. Nobody has called me. I wouldn't block the number unless it became a problem, though. Like, if they needed to know where something was saved down or whatever. Am I the asshole for calling my brother a shitty dad and a shittier husband? The mods here are misogynistic and have banned me for stating that they are in need to fucking ban straight misogyny. Screw this petty sub. All right, so something clearly got changed here. Am I the asshole for canceling the Airbnb and leaving sister-in-law basically stranded after she brought her dog? All right, dog story. I can use one of these. I booked an Airbnb retreat for me, my husband, my sister-in-law, and her husband about 4 months ago. The Airbnb was not dog friendly, and I made that perfectly clear, as my sister-in-law thinks her dog should be welcomed everywhere no matter the cost. I got my hand up for the slap again, chat. Can't see it. She said she would find a dog sitter, and I had no reason to question it. I do. The Airbnb was out of state, about 15 hours away on a really nice beach in Tampa. My husband and I flew down, and my sister-in-law insisted on driving, so she left roughly 24 hours prior to our flight. She said it was cheaper to drive than it was to fly. Maybe. I don't know how the gas prices are doing. When my husband and I arrived, my sister-in-law and her husband were already sitting in the driveway. When they saw me pull in, she had asked if we got the keys yet, which we had because we met up with the owner along the way. And she said, "Oh good, give them to me quick so I can get Brute inside without being seen." I just stopped dead in my tracks and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" She kept saying things like, "What? I couldn't find anyone to watch him," or "He's fucking old and housebroken." I don't know why anyone would be ignorant enough to say no pets allowed. I know why. I know exactly why. Emikin says, I had a coworker that had work's number saved as do not answer in his phone, so he'd know not to answer on his days off. That's so smart. All right, okay, so he's housebroken. I don't know why anyone would be ignorant enough to say no pets allowed, and basically just kept making excuses as to why she was in the right. My husband is just sitting there completely dumbfounded and shaking his head. Let's see. I just got back in my rental car and left. I got a refund from Airbnb and dropped the keys off with the woman and explained the situation. She told me I could still stay there because I've been honest, but I told her no, the place was too big for just my husband and myself. We ended up staying at a significantly less expensive hotel. So $4K for the week for Airbnb, but $1,800 for the week at the hotel. So less than half the cost. During this whole time, my sister-in-law is blowing us up, saying she can't afford to stay down here. My husband and I make a lot more than sister-in-law and her husband, so we agree to pay for everything. And she says she didn't bring anything with her to snack on and couldn't afford prices of shit here and whatever. How old is this woman? It doesn't have the ages. This is the one time I want to know the ages, because this woman is either like 19 or 56. Urban says, my old work used to call me on different numbers all the time to trick me into picking up. In the end, I just had to ignore all calls on days off that weren't from contacts. I don't even answer the phone anymore. It doesn't matter who's calling. Like, if it's important, they can leave a message or they can text me. Let's see. I just straight up ignored her because of Maya. She tried ruining my trip that I 100% paid for. My mother-in-law is down our throats, saying the least we could have done was give them some money for food instead of leaving them stranded. And I told her, nope, they can just drive back home and get food there. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. If a person can't find a dog sitter, they stay home. If a person can't afford snacks or food, they absolutely have zero excuse for going on vacation. They ate the snacks and are trying to score pity money. Which one of you flatfoots ate my candy bar? So there you go. Yeah, not the asshole. Man, what is it with people and owning dogs that makes them think they can just get away with whatever? More dog. Oh, another dog when I see dog. Am I the asshole for removing all of my fiance's certificates from the wall after he took down my daughter's dog picture? Why? What? Me? Okay, so 34 and 36. So that's not a weird age difference. Good deal. I own the house we currently live in, but after he moved in, he started helping out with the mortgage payment. I have a daughter. She adores animals. She had about 7 pets so far in her life. Unfortunately, her dog Tick passed away. He was her closest friend and favorite pet. It was devastating for me as well because he was so precious. As a way to honor him, I've printed a middle-sized picture of him, Ruby's favorite, and put it in a frame and hanged. Is that right? Hanged? I think if it's a picture, it's hung, or because hanged is when you get hanged at the gallows, but hung also means something else. Is it? So I don't know. Urban says hung, so I'm gonna say he's English, so he knows. Ruby was so happy with it, especially since she gets to see him smiling at her when she walks in. All right, sad story, happy ending. My fiance saw it and got upset. He commented on how strange it was to have the dog's picture up on the wall and how much of a distraction it brings. I felt puzzled because we have all kinds of pictures that were hanging on the wall. He suggested we remove it. What this fucking dude's problem? One day I got home and saw he's taken it down. Ruby was in her room crying, holding the picture. I asked what happened, and she told me that my fiance took the picture off and told her she's not allowed to have it hung up there. She also told her to keep it in her room and if she didn't want to lose it for good. I was shocked. I rushed out and immediately started taking down all the certificates he had on the wall. His doctorate, master's, and bachelor's degrees, and about 4 to 5 other certificates as well. All of them I took down and put in the bedroom. He discovered what I did and snapped at me and said it's his house as well and I should respect his input. In my defense, I told him that since my daughter has to keep it in her room, then he too has to keep his certificates in his room according to his logic. He yelled at me, demanding that I stop nagging him and acting childishly and spitefully. He wanted to put them back up, but I refused and said that if he does that, then Tick's picture will be put back up as well. He yelled about how I disrespected him. What is it with like immature dudes and talking about being disrespected? I don't think I've ever said that anyone ever disrespected me at once in my entire life. Even if they probably did, I would never say it. I would never like bring up respect as a reason to get on someone's case. Emikin says, I hope she put them under the bed. That's a reference to Unpacking. If you haven't played it, awesome game. A bit of a spoiler for one of the levels though. He yelled about how I disrespected him and his achievements and treated them as trash, and then stormed out. This dude's an asshole. Not the asshole. He doesn't want equal say. He wants a dictatorship. It's clear he will continue to hurt your daughter behind your back. I would reevaluate my relationship. That is... This dude's a dick. I don't even like dogs. But, you know, if you have other pictures hanging on the wall, you can't just be like, I don't want this one picture because it's a dog or whatever reason he doesn't like it. Am I the asshole for wearing the same color as the bride as a wedding harpist and not changing? Well, what is the etiquette on that, chat? I guess let's find out. So I, female 18, was asked to play the harp at a friend of my father's wedding. Normally I would ask for payment beforehand, but since it was a family friend, they asked if they could just pay me at the reception, and I told them yes. The dates worked out for me, and it was set in a church about 1 hour from my house. I showed the dress I planned to wear to the bride when we went over the music she wanted and at the rehearsal, but only on a hanger. It looks like it would be ugly on a hanger, and it's just navy blue with long sleeves and floor length, but it's surprisingly pretty. Emmykins says, I don't want this picture up because it's not my picture. Ooh, maybe that's what it is. And Urban says, red flag. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we got navy blue, long sleeves, floor length. I have no idea what that would look like. I can't imagine clothes in my head. I got to the venue about 4 hours early so my harp would have time to acclimate to the room. When I got there, the bride's mother came to give me my corsage, and when she saw me, she demanded I change my dress. I laughed because I've known her for years, and then I realized she wasn't joking. I asked what was wrong with it, and she said the bride went with a non-traditional dress that was also navy blue. I panicked a little because this is her wedding, and I felt really bad, but she and her groom had approved it twice. I told the mother, and she asked if I had any other color I could change into. I don't bring extra dresses unless my dress somehow doesn't get approval beforehand, so I didn't. She then told me to go to the bridal shop 20 minutes away and buy a new dress. I refused because those dresses would cost about what I was getting paid for this wedding, and I told her I couldn't afford it. I felt bad, but she begrudgingly walked away. The actual wedding went smoothly, and after everyone else had left the church and congratulated the bride, I stopped to talk to her. I explained what the mother-in-law said, and she said it was fine, and they weren't thinking when they approved my dress. At the reception, when I talked for her mother-in-law about payment, she refused to pay me. I didn't want to cause a scene, but the bride came over and heard us talking. This time she was also upset with me and also refused to pay me. I didn't know what to do as my parents were busy and couldn't attend the wedding. I didn't know anyone there to back me up. A lot of people assume harpists come from a lot of money because of how expensive harps are, but I've been renting a harp since 4th grade, and when my teacher passed, we bought it for an amazing deal. I also charge a lot less than most musicians would, but I have college payment due in a few days and I can't afford it. Well, okay. You're cutting a little close on the money situation there. I got my parents involved when I got home. My dad talked to his friends, the father of the groom who was there when they approved the dress, and he got the payment to me. Okay. I still feel really bad, but I don't think there was anything I could have done. Should I have just sucked it up and bought a new dress? Am I the asshole? Urban says that navy blue, what a unique and original color. No one would accidentally wear that. Yeah, I mean, if you're going for a non-traditional color at a wedding for your wedding dress, I don't think you can get on people's cases for like wearing the same color. Also, not the asshole, you had it approved twice and the bride was okay with it. Yeah. This was a business transaction, you held up your end of the deal, the dress was approved twice, they had no reason to refuse payment. They just didn't want to pay. That's what it sounds like. Am I another wedding one? Why is there so much wedding stuff? I guess, like I was saying before, weddings make people go absolutely crazy. All right, am I the asshole for canceling the payment for my daughter's wedding after she told me my wife isn't invited? Whoa, whoa. My daughter, 27F, is getting married in the fall. I, 58M, het dad. Yeah, okay. Am supposed to pay for the wedding. That's what we agreed on. We got the save the date invitations a few days after I put the payments through my bank. They need to be approved, so no money has been paid yet. My wife isn't invited to the wedding. I've been divorced for 15 years and married to my wife now for 8 years. My daughter never really liked my wife. Okay, so this is the new wife. This is wife 2. They didn't get along well. My other 2 kids love her. I called my daughter and asked her why my wife wasn't invited. She said that it's her wedding day and she only wants to invite her real family. I asked, well, did you invite mom's BF? And she said yes. I said, well, okay, then you should invite my wife too, or I'm not paying for the wedding. She declined and said she isn't inviting my wife. I told her I'll cancel the payments then. And she didn't believe me. I canceled them and shocked Pikachu face. My daughter's now super pissed at me, as is my ex-wife. Aita? Not the asshole. You didn't ask for your wife to be part of the wedding party, just a guest. Your daughter has the right to not invite your wife, but then she has to pay for her wedding. Wow. Emikin says, if you're not going to wear a traditional color and you don't want other people wearing it, you should probably make that clear before the wedding. Yeah, see, I'm not like an expert on wedding etiquette, but that makes sense to me. Because everybody knows don't wear white to the wedding. And whoa, Hank, go back. I don't want to look at that. Oh, that was close. Thanks, Reddit, for not just immediately showing me things. Oh, here's the surprised Pikachu face. Yep, there it is. Good stuff. What was I saying before I almost went into not safe for work territory? Oh no. It didn't take me back to where I was, chat. Blah, blah, blah. We'll find it. We'll find it. Okay, we passed the asshole one. There we are. So yeah, I don't know much about wedding etiquette, but I do know you're not supposed to wear white to the wedding unless you're the mother-in-law of the bride, and then definitely wear white to the wedding, and then also announce that you're getting remarried later that year or something. Am I the asshole for kicking my husband's friends out of the pool? Maybe. My husband, okay, I'm a working sole income earner for the time being of 2. I'm a working of 2? That doesn't mean anything to me. My husband has been struggling to find a job for 16 months. I don't know what's up with that, and so I've been solely paying for everything. He's not looking for a job, I can tell you that much. As you know, it's summertime and the kids want to go to the beach every weekend, but I'm busy working oftentimes and my husband won't bother taking them unless he uses my car, which is a no for me because I need it for work. Anyway, so I put money toward renovating and upgrading our old pool so the kids could use it. How much money does this woman make? She has a pool? Thing is, once the pool was ready, my husband started inviting his friends to come over and use it for hours. They basically taken over, preventing the kids from enjoying it. They complained about being denied the pool several times, which caused them to get upset. This dude's an asshole. How much farther do we have to go? Do I even have to read the rest of the thing? He then left the house and hasn't been back yet. Good, good. Yeah, really. When did that happen? All right. Yeah, okay, we'll read the whole thing. I don't need to just skim it for you guys. So what I did was talk to my husband about it and telling him to limit his friend's usage of the pool. He flipped out at me saying it's his house / water too. Buddy, who's paying for that water? And I can't control what he does, who he brings. I got mad and in return told him that tomorrow the kids get the pool or else I will ban his friends from it completely. He side-eyed me and said, fine, they can have the damn pool tomorrow. Well, next day my daughter calls me crying saying dad brought his friends over and refused to let her and her brother play in the pool. I was L-I-V-I-D. That spells livid. We've got spirit. Yes, we do. I literally left work right then and went home. I saw him and his friends in the pool messing around and I just screamed my head off on them, telling them to get out. My husband tried to get involved, but I told him and had all his friends leave. I told him off and had all his friends leave. He blew up at me for acting like a lunatic and said that I was being controlling and shamless. Absolutely shamless. I said I already told him to let the kids play in the pool, yet he ignored my request. He yelled at me saying just because I paid to fix the pool doesn't mean I own it. He then went back inside and started calling his friends one by one to apologize on my behalf, since he said I was too shamless to do it myself. He then left the house and hasn't been back yet. Man, this dude sounds like a real winner. I wish they had the ages. This is another one where I would love to see the ages. I'd be looking at divorce lawyers over this. 16 months unemployed, trashing the home with his buddies, being an asshole to children, and turning it all into a blowout power struggle with his wife when she objects. What, if anything, does this man bring to a marriage that would make this relationship worth saving? Yeah, really. Not the asshole. It'd be one thing if he enjoyed the pool with his pals now and again, but your husband has no job, and if he's loafing about in the pool this much, but the kids can't use it, he's definitely an asshole with a sniff of deadbeat about him. He's being an awful dad too by hogging the family pool, which sounds like he barely contributed anything towards, so the kids are literally crying for not being able to use. What a total asshole your spouse is. Tell him to get a damn job. Yes. He does nothing. He just sits around the house all day and hangs out in the pool with his friends. How old is this guy? 18 or 56? Am I the asshole for giving my part of the inheritance to my brother when my sister needs it for her IVF? Did we read this one already? Sounds okay. My producer says yes, we've read that one before. It is 28 days old. We did have, I think we did do a Reddit court at the end of June. Am I the asshole for not putting my boyfriend's name on my house? Am I the asshole for throwing away the food my wife put in my freezer and then putting a padlock on it? What? I, 39, have been married to my wife, 32, for 4 years. We usually get along just fine. One of the issues we've had since our relationship began has been about our freezer. Simply put, my wife stuffs the freezer full of food constantly. Really? People do that? There's absolutely zero space for me to put anything in there. At first, I tried to solve this by buying the fridge with the biggest freezer we could find. I dropped nearly $4 grand on it. She interpreted this as an invitation to buy more frozen food so she could play microwave dinner Tetris with the freezer. Every single nook and cranny is stuffed full. She still buys frozen foods and somehow finds a way to fit them in. The worst part is when I buy a frozen food or freeze something for meal prep, she asks me at least 3 to 4 times a day when I'm going to take it out of the freezer. She essentially nags me until I remove the food from the freezer so she can put something she won't be touching for 6 months in its place. Last weekend, I finally snapped and bought an inexpensive single-door deep freezer. I put it in the basement near the washer dryer and put a couple of my own things in there, mostly some frozen veggies and a few burritos. I didn't really mention it to my wife because she wasn't home when I brought it in. When my wife got home later in the day, she went downstairs to do laundry and discovered my freezer. She excitedly ran upstairs to tell me that the upstairs one is full and she can actually fit more food in there now. I responded that under no circumstances is she to touch the freezer because it's mine. Not a single ice cube should be put in there. He didn't even, like, talk to her first. I mean, I get she's a freezer hoarder, but at least sit down and be like, listen, I'm gonna get a freezer and I'm gonna use that for my stuff. Or alternatively, we could be like, you can put your frozen food in the downstairs chest freezer because that's more efficient, and I'll keep my meal prep stuff upstairs in the freezer in the fridge. That way, you know, it gets rotated out more and more. And then, okay. Then I told her to not even ask because I knew she'd mentioned 3 to 4 times a day she needs more freezer room. She sulked and tried to debate the issue, but I was able to placate her. That's not really something you want to say about your wife, but sure. A couple of days later, I went down to the basement to get something from my freezer, and there I found it about 70% full of microwave dinners. Upon checking the freezer in the kitchen, I found that it too was still completely full. I calmly went downstairs with a large garbage bag, threw everything into it, and tossed it into our trash bin. Then I found a padlock I had lying around and locked it with a chain. This is so ridiculous. Later that day, my wife brought more frozen food. What is this woman's problem? To put into the new freezer, but when she got downstairs, she noticed the lock and flipped her lid. She told me I was being controlling. He's being controlling? Freezer hoarder? When I told her that there's no way she will ever use the freezer again, she threw something like a tantrum and left for her mom's house. She came back later that day and told me that I had 24 hours to unlock the freezer, or else. Nothing really happened after those 24 hours, but now she's completely ignoring everything I say. 32 or 7? Jeez. Yeah, that's, your wife sounds like she has some issues, maybe a food equivalent of a hoarder. Yeah, that's just a hoarder. Urban says, I bet she loves the deals on frozen food at the supermarket. Can't resist. Like, my wife always complains about our freezer always being full when she's the one that does the grocery shopping. I don't get it. I don't even put anything in there. I'm not even allowed to go in the kitchen anymore, not after last time. Big Dream Small Cock, who is the OP, I didn't read his name before, says, in response to something, I've tried suggesting this before, it did not blow over well. Dude, she really needs help, and so do you. As I said in another comment, this is a problem with my parents too, and if you find a solution, I would love to hear it. Emmykin says, because we have one small freezer, not three. We only need the one. What are we freezing in there? Am I the asshole for being the reason my friend's daughter had to go to the hospital? I know the title sounds horrible, but I don't know how else to put it. What do you mean you don't know how else to put it? What did you do? I'm not a very busy person. I'm not a very busy person. I don't start college until September, and I don't have a job, so not much to do. A few weeks ago, my friend Alice, 22F, how old is this person? She didn't mention it. Came to my door with her daughter, Millie, 3, Millie Bobby Brown, I assume, and told me she really needs me. Apparently she had an emergency to attend to and she needed an urgent sitter. She didn't really ask and just gave me the kid and a bag of toys and books and told me she would be back in a few hours. I have no problem with this. Millie's a very sweet kid and she knows me well enough to be comfortable around me. Still, it was a bit unexpected, but I was going out to the cinema, so I thought I would take her with me and we would walk around a bit and watch something. Everything went smoothly. We watched a movie together. Millie seemed happy and I was enjoying my time as well. Then we went to the park and I thought it would be nice to get us some ice cream. Uh-oh. We both had vanilla swirls and she seemed to enjoy it for a bit, but as soon as we got home, she started throwing up and developed what seemed to be a rash. I thought maybe she got a bug or something and called her mom, but when she didn't pick up, I took her to the hospital. Apparently, Millie has a mild allergy to dairy. Alice did not tell me this. I've never seen Alice give her dairy, but I thought that was a dietary choice, and to be honest, I did not take that much notice to it. I never knew this explicitly. She was safe and nothing bad was going to happen to her, but she was obviously very uncomfortable until the antihistamines kicked in. I kept calling Alice and she only picked up a few hours later. As soon as I told her we were at the hospital, she got furious. When she came in, she started yelling at me like I was trying to kill her baby because I had to take care of her on such short notice, and I was an idiot for not knowing her child would react like this to ice cream. Urban says, I get told to eat a bunch of random stuff to clear space. It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. That's a fun job, though. We don't have a microwave, so I guess we don't have to worry about the TV dinner thing. Like the previous woman was talking about, or previous OP wife apparently just collects delicious TV dinners. You can't see me, I'm making quotes around delicious. Okay, I apologized many times, sent them cards and a present. No, why are you doing all this? But apparently she's been telling our group of friends that I tried to hurt Millie and I should not be trusted around children. Some of our friends berated me for my lack of attention and told me I would have to carry the responsibility if anything worse had happened to Millie. Man. I think neglecting to mention an allergy is the least of our problems. There's something deeply insane in the membrane. Accusing OP of attempted murder? Give me a break. Yeah, really. This is just stupid. Also, the title is terrible. Am I the asshole for inadvertently giving my friend's daughter a food she was allergic to? That would be a much better way to put that. Am I the asshole for using insulting wallpapers for my phone's home screen after my coworkers keep touching it? Wait, this sounds funny. Okay. This might sound ridiculous, but allow me to take the time to explain. So I, male, 28, started working at this company for 6 months. My coworkers are decent. However, I noticed a pattern with my female coworkers, a couple of them, which consist of them opening/looking through my phone whenever they get the chance. Me using the bathroom, meeting, etc. So far, I've caught them doing it 3 times. They didn't take something or open any apps because I would have known, but still, don't know why they keep snooping. Emikin says, if your child has a known allergy, it's your job to make known to people caring for that child, not their job to magically know. No, but don't you see? She should have been paying more attention. And then she would know that Millie Bobby Brown clearly has a mild allergy to dairy. So okay, we got a bunch of Snoopy coworkers. I wanted to tackle this issue in a non-confrontational way since they're both beyond sweet, except for the snooping thing. So what I did was set up insulting or offensive wallpaper. Some of them I made myself. Wallpapers that say, don't touch my phone, asshole, muggle, weirdo. Or I can see you, with John Cena waving his hand, or bitch, don't touch my phone, with a middle finger in the middle of the screen. It was just an experiment, but apparently it got to them. They claimed that I had offended them on a personal level, calling them names and so on. I told them they had no business touching my phone, but they made excuses saying they were just trying to borrow my charger / check the time, etc., etc. The office got split. Some said I should have come to the ladies if I really had an issue. Some say it was justified, and ultimately no one gets to control what I use as my wallpapers. They're now expecting a formal apology, but I refused. Am I the asshole? Did I handle this inappropriately? First of all, lock your phone. Step 1. Maybe don't leave it unattended. But who the heck just picks up somebody's phone and starts going through it? Yeah, this whole situation is bizarre. Your company must have policies regarding this behavior. It's not work related, first of all. They're goofing off. Secondly, this is harassment, like looking through your wallet. They don't sound sweet at all. So weird. Not the asshole. Keep your hands off and nose out of things that aren't yours. OP, I'm begging you to lock your phone. You said in comments you have trouble remembering passwords, but even a crappy password like your name or 1234 is better than nothing. Or a fingerprint lock. Not the asshole, but what the fuck are they looking at on your phone? That's creepy. That's weird. Am I the asshole for having a snack? No, you're not the asshole. Well, it says recovering from an eating disorder. Am I the asshole for refusing to make my husband another cup of coffee after he purposefully dropped the first one? Coffee drinkers. My female 26 husband, male 31, woke up not in the mood this morning and told me to make him a cup of coffee before he went to work. Don't even talk to me until I've had my coffee. I went and made it with extra sugar, just like how he always likes it. But when I handed it to him and he tasted it, he made a face and said it was too sweet. I told him this is how it usually is, but he said he wasn't in a good mood today and told me to make another one. Mind you, I was already 20 minutes late for work. Wife of the year, husband of, like, go to hell. I told him no, and he already had one and should just drink it. Next thing I know, he drops the cup on the floor purposely and said that he no longer has it and I should go ahead and make another one. I refused, and then we had an argument. I just walked out. Again, disrespected. He texted me a bunch later saying I disrespected him and forced him to not have his daily coffee by acting stubborn and having an attitude. Oh yeah, disrespected. Is she married to Peter Griffin? Did Peter Griffin do that? Disrespected him. Disrespected him, chat. This means this is red flag. If anyone ever says you're disrespecting me, just leave. Then reminding me of how much work he's picked and how much time and rest he'd sacrificed in order to help me while I was recovering from the birth of our son. And that was just the first week, and I had to get up. He said I owe him and that I should have returned at least one of his many favors instead of deciding to ruin his day. I came home and he is here refusing to even look at me. Wow. This dude's a huge jerk. Not the asshole. Is he usually this controlling and manipulative, or only before he's had his coffee? I'm sorry, what? Please tell me you did not clean that coffee up that he dropped. He needs therapy. He's controlling and vindictive. What a fucking asshole. Jeez. Am I the asshole for not answering my husband when he called? This another one. I gave birth, blah blah blah. It just had a kid. My husband's being a controlling jerk. It sucks that you have to find this out after you have a kid with the guy. Am I the asshole for telling the stepfather who raised me that he's not my dad when he didn't treat me like his son? That just sounds sad. Would I be the asshole if I gave a family heirloom belonging to my late wife to my adopted daughter? Yes, asshole, apparently. Okay, if it's an asshole, we gotta read it. We're legally required to by the state of Minnesota. We have to read the asshole posts, even if they're sad. My late wife, Kate, passed away about 12 years ago. They have a family heirloom that has passed down several generations, starting from her great-grandmother, from mothers to their first daughters on their 18th or thereabouts birthday. The heirloom itself is not highly valuable in a financial sense, but the history makes it very valuable to the people in the family. I currently possess it after Kate passed away, and I always intended to give it to my daughter Claire on her 18th birthday. She is currently 16. I married my current wife about 8 years ago. My stepdaughter Sarah, whom I have adopted and consider my own daughter, is 17 years and 11 months old. Her 18th birthday is in a month. My wife has also adopted Claire, and we all consider each other as just one family. My wife asked me to give the heirloom to Sarah on her birthday to continue the tradition. I was hesitant because I always intended to give it to Claire, who is Kate's only daughter, and this is what she would have wanted and is the continuance of the tradition. It's a cool heirloom. I don't have anything like that. My wife counters that this belongs to our family now and we should give it to our eldest daughter on her 18th birthday, and therefore this should be Sarah. I told her that while I consider Sarah to be my daughter, she's not Kate's daughter. This belongs to Kate and should go to Kate's daughter. My wife said Claire is her daughter, not anyone else's, and wife accused me of playing favorites and told me that if I truly consider Sarah to be my daughter, then I'll do the right thing for her, or I haven't really accepted Sarah as a real daughter yet. I consulted my son from Kate, 25 years old, and he told me that if I do this, he's going to walk from the birthday party and that he bets he won't be the only one. He said if I do this, I should be ready for severe consequences. He left in a very frustrated way. Why is he frustrated? You're just asking. His argument in the end was that this isn't yours to give away. It was mom's and now belongs to Claire. My wife thinks my son is overreacting and is only because due to his age and moving out, he's never bonded with Sarah and Claire, and I have. So he doesn't consider Sarah to be his real sister. Hang on, get the music going. YouTube likes to make sure I'm still watching when I clearly am. My wife thinks Claire will be happy about it since she considers Sarah to be her big sister, and it will bring the girls even closer together because Sarah will happily share it with Claire and they'll both have it. I'm curious what this actually is. You're the asshole for even considering it. Your wife is also an even bigger asshole pressuring you to do it. It belonged to Kate. It was you who adopted Sarah. Kate didn't. It should stay with Kate's children. Give it to Claire on her 18th birthday. I don't trust your wife around it. You should seriously consider giving it to your son, or ideally Kate's mother if she's still alive, for safekeeping. Man, that's a shit situation to be in. At least he read it ahead of time. Am I the ass? Okay, we've read this one. Paternity test one. Am I the asshole for not wanting strangers in the background of my wedding pics? We gotta stall these strangers out of our pictures, chat. I, 24F, recently had my wedding on the beach of a beautiful hotel in Cancun. Many of my friends and family could go, so I was very happy. The only problem was during our ceremony, there were people on the sea playing or doing jet ski activities. Those jerks. It really bothered me because they would appear in the background, so I told my wedding planner about it. She was very understanding and said she would fix it. When she talked to the owners of the activities and to people in the area of the sea, we expected them to be kind and nice, but they just declined and continued. I even took the time to go myself and asked them to stop, but they didn't care. But it's a public place. What are you talking about? I was about to go and tell someone from the hotel, but my now husband stopped me and said it would be an asshole thing to do. I told him standing up for myself wasn't an asshole thing to do. It sometimes is, actually. And went looking for hotel staff, but they said there was nothing they could do. When I returned, my husband was moody. He says I disrespected him, and I wonder if it was really an asshole thing to do or not. Am I the asshole? Yes. Ha 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 ha. You're the asshole. An entire ocean and beach must be closed because you were getting married. Lol. Did you offer to compensate those who would need to close their seasonal businesses after 2 very hard years? You apparently haven't heard of photo editing. What? Yeah, really. Spirited Safety Lass says, but it's her Princess Day and everyone must do as she says. That's the rule. OP, you're the asshole and your husband was moody upon your return because he was second guessing his marriage. I married an asshole. Emmykin says, Cat is snuggling with me and wants to know why you're not playing Stray. I'm not playing Stray because I don't own Stray, and I don't know that I'd want to stream Stray because everybody's streaming Stray, and unless somebody really wants to watch me play Stray, I'm not going to stream it. How dare people go out in public on your special day? You're the bride. Poor you, and now nasty people on Reddit will say you're the asshole. Your husband also isn't appreciating how special you are. You should divorce him immediately. Oh, that's good. Info, did you rent out the entire sea? You're the asshole. Get married in a public place. Be prepared to deal with the public. That's good. Good stuff. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to quit waking me up? What? Am I the asshole for calling my husband out on this? Without fail, every time my husband, 29F. Oh, another. What is this? Now we got an 8-year difference. 29 lady, 37 guy. Wakes up in the middle of the night. He wakes me up fully to ask me what time it is. Both of us sleep with our cell phones charging next to our bed, so it's just easy for him to reach out and check the time on his phone as it is for him to wake me up and ask me. My husband says I'm being an asshole because I'm making a big deal out of nothing. I say waking me up for something meaningless that he can do for himself with less effort than he expends asking me shows a complete disregard for me and is really selfish of him. Disrespecting you. Now, I know what you're going to say. I'm making a huge deal out of nothing, but it's not like this is a sometimes thing. He does it often, several times a week. And when he does, it always takes me forever to fall back asleep. We both work full-time jobs and have an infant. Oh, that sucks. I do 100% of the nighttime baby duties because my husband commutes farther than I do. So he says it just makes sense for me to let him sleep since he has to be out the door before I do in the mornings. What a weird thing to do. I need to be clear. I'm not complaining if he wakes me up due to the baby needing me. I wake up to his cries. I don't think my husband ever hears it. My complaint is strictly that he wakes me up to ask me what time it is. I feel like he's being really selfish. Sometimes I just want to sleep too. Yeah, not the asshole. He's being unreasonable and lacks common sense. It's not that hard to check the phone by himself to see what time it is instead of disturbing others for no reason. Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with your husband? You're completely correct. This is inconsiderate and selfish of your husband to wake you up. Ask the time. And it's poor parenting and marital behavior to dump all the nighttime parenting on you. Is he this selfish in other aspects of your life? Just, why is he doing that? Just like, oh, well, if I have to be awake, my wife also has to be awake. So wake up and tell me what time it is. That's my excuse. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. All right. We'll make this the last one, chat. This is an asshole one. This will be good. So let me read the title. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he should be ashamed of himself and taking the girls and going home after he made them wait outside of the restaurant? Am I the asshole for telling my husband he should be ashamed of himself and then taking the girls and going home after he made them wait outside the restaurant? All right, let's read the story because I'm not quite sure what's happening here. I'm a mother of twins. 19F. Wait, are the twins 19F? Their dad and I split up 6 years ago, and now I'm now married to my husband Kevin. Problem is, Kevin thinks that my girls are not disciplined simply because they don't follow everything he tells them. They're disrespecting him, chat, because they don't see him as their father. We've already talked about that, especially the part where he expects them to dress how he wants them to and behave how he wants them to or behave how he wants them to. He even calls them weirdos, but that's just how teenagers are and it's not a new thing. Anyways, I told him he needed to loosen up a little and lessen his expectations of them, but I get it's hard to do given he was brought up in a conservative, quote unquote, household with a hardcore Christian family. last week he started to fight after seeing one of the girls' hairstyles and said that she was looking trashy because of we had to cancel our trip to the mall because he refused to drive us. What the hell's this guy's problem? A couple of days ago, we wanted to go out for dinner. I was intending on getting off work at 6, but had some stuff to get done. My husband and I agreed that he'd take the girls and go to the restaurant and wait for me there. He called me before they got out of the house to complain about what the girls were wearing. The girls sent me pics and I thought nothing was wrong with their outfits and told him to drop it and just go. He said fine, then muttered something about me enabling them, then hung up. While I was still at work, I got a call from one of the girls telling me their stepdad had them stand and wait outside the restaurant because he didn't want to be seen with them dressing like that. I was stunned. I rushed to the restaurant and found them near the car. They explained he told them to wait in the car till he told them to come in, basically wait for me. And they started crying, and I had them get in my car and went inside the restaurant and found him on his phone. I went off on him and told him he should be ashamed of himself for treating my daughters like if there was something to be ashamed of. He tried backpedaling, saying it wasn't like that, but I interrupted him, then walked out after canceling dinner. I went home and he came back hours later trying to argue that I can't blame him for disapproving of what the girls' recklessness, and that he tried communicating, but I shut him down and treated him as less of a parent when he just wants what's best for them. He doesn't speak to me or the girls anymore. How is this possibly the asshole? Oh, you're the asshole for marrying someone who treats your daughters like this. Of course they don't see him as a dad. They're adults and he hasn't even been around for 6 years. He cannot just have expected to marry you then suddenly gain 2 obedient robots. That isn't how it works. You get that his issue with their wardrobe and appearance are him sexualizing them, right? His upbringing is no excuse either. It can be a reason, but he's still responsible for adjusting his attitude and behavior once it's pointed out as unacceptable. Your choice, but if you can let this continue, your girls won't stick around for any longer than they need to. Info: why are you still with a man that wants to treat your teen girls like dress-up dolls that can only wear what he approves, calls them trashy, and then punishes them for not marching to the beat of his drum? I really need to know. Don't be so desperate for a relationship that you'll tolerate your kids being treated like shit. Cut this controlling dude out of all of your lives. Oh boy. That's a good reason to call someone an asshole. Boy, what else here? Is it basically the train that we're... Oh crap, go back. I don't want to read someone's thing. Oh, go down. Not the asshole. You realize his real issue is that he sees 2 attractive young women and is well attracted. His knee-jerk reaction is to control them and their bodies to make himself more comfortable. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say not the asshole for what you did, but you're the asshole for continuing to tolerate this guy. So basically, I'm gonna concur with the Reddit hive mind. Anyway, I think that concludes Reddit court for tonight. So thanks everybody for coming out. If anybody's still here, Urban, if you're still awake, thanks a lot. If anybody else is watching in the future, we'll be back tomorrow with some more Red Faction. It'll be a good time. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream tonight. Yeah, Urban, try to stay cool. I recommend buying an air conditioner if you can find one. I don't know if they even sell them over there, but they're really nice. You enjoyed, huh? I get a kick out of Reddit court. I don't think I could do it all the time, but kind of saving them up for a whole month seems to work out pretty well. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, more Red Faction, and then we'll see what Friday has in store. Maybe Stray, that seems to be what everybody's playing, but also probably not. So have a great night, morning, whatever time it is for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.